Okay, so I think we will get started now. So hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here today for the Big Give 2022 celebration. My name is Kristen Auspinis. I am the Interim Executive Director of the Realtors Community Foundation. So for today, we just ask that everybody keeps themselves on mute unless you are the one speaking. We have a number of different speakers today, so that'll just keep things a little bit more, gonna keep a nicer flow. So I would like to extend our gratitude on behalf of the Realtors Community Foundation on the many charities that are here today that continue doing such important work of supporting Indigenous community members to thrive while celebrating and sharing their traditions with us. So for those of you that are not familiar with the Realtors Community Foundation, we bring realtors together to move communities forward. So the centerpiece of what we do is providing grants to charities in the Edmonton and surrounding areas under the pillars of hunger, shelter, and accessibility. So we raise funds all year long, adding to the amount that we are able to grant at the end of the year. So for us, that is our fiscal year begins in April. So we're coming to the end of our fiscal year here in March. And so each year we deliberate many different applications and eventually select where the year's hard-earned funds are going to go towards. So the Big Give has been the day where we announce these charities receiving funds and celebrate both the valuable work that they do in the community and our very own community that made that giving possible. So of course we are joining here today virtually, but we are so happy to have all of you nonetheless, and so happy that we can share this celebration with you. So I'd also like to inform all of those in attendance today that today's meeting is being recorded and will be posted publicly to our Facebook page after the event. Unfortunately, our 2022 president, Alan Morrison, was unable to join us today, but not to fret. We have Aaron Robson here in his place, and Aaron is our incoming president, so he will be president next term. So yeah, I'd like to take this time now to introduce Aaron. Mr. Aaron Robson, you can take the stage, Aaron.
Thank you very much, Kristen. That was an absolute beautiful introduction. So hello, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Governors of the Realtors Community Foundation, I would like to say thank you very much for joining us today for this amazing day of giving. We are so grateful to be part of such a wonderful community of supporters that make giving possible. And of course, local charities that do incredible work to help support our community. We are proud to announce that the total amount we're giving this year is $261,000. This was made possible by the generosity of all of our sponsors, our We Care donors, and those who have also participated in our online fundraisers. And last but not least, of course, to the Realtors Association of Edmonton, whose unwavering support has just been amazing over this last wild year. In 2020, we introduced our Flagship program, where charities received funds over 3-year pledged periods. The goal of this long-term funding is to provide more stability for charities to run programs and initiatives so that they can build momentum and guaranteed continued support for them as well as their clients. It also provides the opportunity for the foundation to create deeper relationships between realtors and the causes we support for a sustained impact. Today's main focus of our Big Give charities today's main focus is our Big Give charities, but we will finish up today by announcing 2 new Flagship charities that were also selected this year. This is the first year that our Flagship funding has accounted for more than our Big Give funding. These funds have been distributed between 7 different local charities. Our earliest Flagship charity, Habitat for Humanity, Edmonton, Casa Child, Adolescent and Family Mental Health and Youth Empowerment and Support Services, or YES, received funding for their 3rd and final year. Edmonton's Meals on Wheels and Terra Center for Teen Parents received their 2nd year of funding, and Drive Happiness and Homes for Heroes Foundation received their 1st year of funding as well. In the fall, we had the pleasure of filming a 7-part video series with each of these charities, illustrating their impact for this long-term, reliable funding opportunity. I encourage you to check out our videos on the Realtors Community Foundation YouTube channel or also on our Instagram account. Before we get the ball rolling, I would also like to acknowledge our amazing funding allocation committee members and chair, Nicole McAway, who had the very tall task of deliberating fund recipients out of this year's 43 applications. That's a lot of applications to go through. So Nicole and the funding committee, props to you. I could go on about how grateful we are, but I'm told that people want this Zoom event to be nice and brief as possible. So let's move on to our charity announcements. We are joined by representatives from many of our charities today. We invite you to wave or post hello in the chat and give us all your good vibes. Today's announcements will be made by several RCF governors, and we will also hear from a few of our new charities. To start us off, I would like to call upon RCF Governor Mo Yassin.
Thank you, Aaron. Hello, everyone. I am Mo Yassin, Governor with the Realtors Community Foundation. I'm excited to announce our first grant recipient, Wings of Providence. RCF first funded Wings in 1984, and including this year's grant, we have given over $85,000 to date to support them in helping women and their children escape intimate partner violence. Wings provides safe and affordable shelter for women and children escaping abuse, and they have a specialized daycare program for the children staying in this housing. The Rocky Forest Daycare and out-of-school care program delivers quality, trauma-informed care, early education programs, and assistance with emotional, developmental, and behavioral challenges. Behavioral challenges children experience as a result of leaving an abusive home. Sadly, it is far too common for children to arrive at the daycare in the morning with an empty stomach and hungry from the night before. When they first come to Wings with their mothers, they are often doing so with merely the clothes on their backs. They are often living in poverty and struggle with food insecurity, among the many other hardships they face. Thankfully, children attending the Rocky Forest Daycare and out-of-school program can count on receiving nutritious breakfast, hot lunch, and daily snacks throughout the daycare's hot lunch and snack program. This year, the foundation is granting $5,000 to fully fund this program. With this basic need met and with Wings by their side, children can focus on moving through their home and healing and work towards safe, bright, healthy future. Congratulations, Wings of Providence, and thank you for all that you do.
Hi, I'm Nicole McAway. I'm a governor with the Realtors Community Foundation, and I'm excited to announce the second grant recipient, the Nina Haggerty Center for the Arts. The Nina is, sorry, I said that wrong and I was so determined not to. The Nina is home to one of Edmonton's most interesting art collectives made up entirely of artists with developmental disabilities. In their studio, artists are supported by an incredible team of professional practicing artists who facilitate the work through one-to-one mentorship, group small sessions, and workshops. RCF has given the Nina $25,000 since 2012. This year, we're granting $5,000 to cover partial costs of refurbishing the Nina's gallery and kitchen floors, which have become damaged and hazardous. This project will help the Nina maintain a safe, accessible space for their artists with disabilities. Congratulations to the Nina Haggerty Center for the Arts, and continue to do the work that you do. Our next grant recipient is the Pilgrims Hospice Society. This year, the foundation is giving $5,000 to Pilgrims Nourishment and Nurture Program. Today, we have our fund development manager, Nicole Kraft, here to tell us more about how these funds will be used and the impact they will have. Welcome, Nicole.
Sorry, I'll just interject here. There was a speaker change there. So it's actually Monica Robson who's here today to speak on behalf of Pilgrims Hospice Society. So welcome, Monica.
Thank you very much. Hi, I am Monica Robson. I'm the Executive Director at Pilgrim's Hospice Society. And while Nicole was going to do this presentation, she was also off with her daughter for provincials for Ringette and was going to do it from her hotel room. So I said, no, I can do it. So happy to be here. So the Realtors Community Foundation supported our Nourishment and Nurture project. We have a 12-bed residential hospice in Edmonton, newly constructed. We just opened our doors just over a year ago, and the contribution really helps us in providing our residents living their final days at the Rosen Family Hospice Center with the purchase of fresh foods and ingredients to create delicious, nourishing homemade meals, along with snacks and beverages that are always available for their visitors and loved ones. Each of our residents, we try very hard to meet all of their requests. And so we want the food that they're eating at the end of life to be things that are appetizing and nourishing to them. And we accommodate special requests for favorite foods very, very often, and work very hard to create visually appealing small servings for those that have reduced or minimal appetites. Both our residents and their family members sincerely appreciate the thought and care that goes into the preparation and presentation of meals, which contributes very much to a home-like environment. I thought I'd share just a couple of really quick stories about some of the things that we've been able to do. We had one resident here with us she was with us for about 5 months, a very, very limited appetite and very particular about what tasted good. Medications can often influence your sense of taste. And so even things that you may have loved eating your whole life, now you can't stand, and things you never liked before are the things that you crave. But Gwen was from an Asian background, and she really craved like fried rice and foods like that that were very comforting to her. And so our sous chef Thomas worked really hard to make appetizing meals for Gwen. And one of the nice stories that I wanted to share with you is that Gwen shared her recipe for fried rice with Thomas, and now it's often on our menu, and we use Gwen's recipe in our hospice. So a bit of a legacy, one of Gwen's legacies for us. I'll share just one other quick one. Our youngest hospice resident this year celebrated his 21st birthday here with us. And so he had 3 friends come, and he wanted to have a taco party. And so our chefs prepared a taco party for he and his 3 friends to celebrate his birthday. They had a really great time, and it was something that we could do that was meaningful to him in his final time with us. And then the last story I will tell you, I was walking out one day, and as I went past one of our resident rooms, I popped in and said hi, and we chatted for a minute, and she said, I really don't want dinner tonight. And I said, well, what would you like for dinner? And she said, I'd really like poutine. So I went back upstairs and I said to Thomas again, hey, any chance you can make poutine for this lovely lady? And he said, absolutely, I'll have it down to her in 30 minutes. So things like that are what your donation has enabled us to be able to do, is provide those meaningful meals on top of things like our Wednesday tea trolley and ice cream sundaes and smoothies and all sorts of other things for our residents and their loved ones. So thank you very much. Your support means so much.
Thank you, Monica. Those stories were amazing. Love hearing those. Hello, everyone. I am Natasha Aiello. I am with Infinite Realty Service, and I am a governor with the Realtors Community Foundation. Our next grant recipient is the Parents Empowering Parents Society, also known as PEP. Since receiving a grant for the first time in 2013, the foundation has given PEP almost $25,000 to support them in providing education, innovative programming, support, and hope for individuals or family dealing with substance abuse and addiction. This year, we are granting $7,770. It is the full amount of the request, which is why it's a funny number, to support PEP's U-Turn for Youth at Risk program, which is a cost-free support group program for those aged 16 to 24 years old who are in active substance abuse or addiction. The program is led by 2 facilitators and offers a comfortable, relaxed setting and a safe, non-judgmental, non-discriminatory environment where all youth are welcomed on their terms. The goal of the program is to provide education, encourage lifestyle change, and support cognitive reframing for high-risk youth. So congratulations to Parents Empowering Parents Society.
Thank you so much for that, Natasha. My name is Melinda Chisholm. I'm also a governor with the Realtors Community Foundation, and our next grant recipient is the Shiloh Redmond Youth Ranch Society. Shiloh first received RCF funding in 2009 and has since received over $30,000. These funds have helped to facilitate positive life changes in children and youth living in high risk and vulnerable situations through Shiloh's week-long summer camp, one-on-one mentoring, and large group events. This year, the foundation is providing Shiloh with $7,250 to fully fund its summer transportation program. So this funding will enable Shiloh to bus campers to and from the city to the camp, as well as provide each camper with a drawstring backpack filled with hygiene products and snacks for the bus trip. Shiloh deals exclusively with children and youth living in high-risk and vulnerable situations, and currently 85% of their campers need transportation supplied to them in order to get them to their camp. So with this RCF funding, these children will have the opportunity to experience camp, where they'll receive the hope, encouragement, acceptance, mentorship, and unconditional love that they need. So congratulations, Shiloh Redmond Youth Ranch Society. Our next grant recipient is the Institute for Stuttering Treatment and Research, also known as ISTAR. We are excited to be providing them with $5,000 to improve access to stuttering therapy for clients who are in financial need. And we have our clinic director, Holly Lomheim, here to tell us a little bit more about the program and how this funding will be used. So I will pass it to you. Welcome, Holly.
Thank you, Melinda, and thanks to all the members of the Realtor Community Foundation and all the other charities that are here. I really appreciate the time. ISTAR is the Institute for Stuttering Treatment and Research, and as such, we have 4 pillars. We really look to increase public awareness about the cause and nature of stutterings, and that help is available. We also are really dedicated to research to be able to further the field so that we know more about stuttering. And we are a center that trains clinicians to be better clinicians to work with fluency. And most importantly, we help clients of all ages from age 2 to 82. The experience of stuttering is something that I think it's hard for people to wrap their head around, something that I'm doing right now, or this morning if you stopped to order a coffee, or you had something that you wanted to read your child a story that we do without thinking. For a person who stutters can be very, very difficult to the point of creating lots of anxiety, depression. Lots of children and youth are vulnerable to suicide ideation as a result of their communication problems. It can impact academics, vocation. People are often underutilized because they choose things they think they can do that don't require much speaking. So to have the opportunity to give these people hope for a relatively small amount of money, we can do a lot for these clients. So we are so thankful that we have the opportunity to support some of those clients who don't have the resources. Because we're a fee for service and a nonprofit, the clients are required to pay for their services. And many of them, especially during COVID, when that hit, had a really hard time doing that. So without the help of our donors, and we probably wouldn't have been able to see as many people as needed it. And of course, they were so socially isolated during this time, it was really critical. So thank you so much for your support. It really is life-changing for these clients. So I can't tell you how much we appreciate you.
Thanks so much, Holly. My name is Anisha. I am a governor with the Realtors Community Foundation. Our next grant recipient is the Abbotsfield Youth Project Society. Since 2015, the foundation has provided more than $30,000 to support AYP's programs, which help at-risk children and youth aged 6 to 12 learn new skills, and build upon existing strengths and abilities. As well, AYP encourages healthy lifestyle choices and the connection of families to the community. The majority of the children AYP serves live in families whose income is near or below the poverty line. They often struggle with a multitude of barriers, including food insecurity. That's why the foundation is providing $5,000 to fully fund AYP's Healthy Snack Program. The funding will help AYP supply a nutritious snack to all the children in all their programs. In addition, the program models healthy food choices and encourages children to try new foods that they might not get at home. Congratulations to the Abbotsfield Youth Project Society, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Anisha. Hello again, it's Mo with the RCF. This is the first year that this next grant recipient has received RCF funding. I am excited to announce that the foundation is providing $5,000 to the Compassion House Foundation, an organization that supports women who must leave their homes for cancer care. This funding will be used for necessary upgrades to the Sorrentinos Compassion House, which is owned and operated by the Compassion House Foundation, to make it more accessible. The house provides safe, comfortable, and affordable accommodations for 300 to 400 women annually who must travel to Edmonton for cancer treatment. Specifically, funds will fully cover the cost of upgrading the house rear entrance to ensure easier, independent access for guests, particularly those who have mobility issues or use a walker or wheelchair. Overall, a more accessible rear entrance will improve Sorrentinos Compassion House as a safe haven for women battling cancer, so they can focus on what is most important, healing. Congratulations to our new grant recipient, the Compassion House Foundation. Now, our next grant recipient is the Wilderness Youth Challenge Program. This year, we are granting $6,500 to the Wilderness Youth Challenge Program, bringing the total granted to date to $20,000. We're excited to be joined by Lee Eskdale, Executive Director of Wycp today, who will tell us more about how this funding will be used and the impact of this program. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you.
Oh, there you
are. Thank you very much. WYCP Wilderness Youth Challenge Program is very, very proud of the support we get from you folks. You have just worked miracles for us. Our objective is relapse prevention for at-risk youth. We provide a no fee for service initiative where we take youth into the backcountry for 10 days and we set them up, train them, outfit them to do 4-day solos on their own. It's a life experience that we use to support people who are working with youth. We want to be a support agency for all you professional people that would like to refer a youth into a situation where they could experience 10 days in the backcountry, safe, secure, and accomplish a first aid course, a bear aware course, leave no trace camping, and come out after concluding a 4-day solo on their own. It tends to have quite an impact on their decision-making skills. We've been doing this since 2006. We accept referrals from the professional people that we're meeting with here today that are already working with at-risk youth, and we run from 12 to 21. We select 4 or 5 youth at a time, and we go out into the backcountry for 10 days with them. It's a lovely program. We don't provide professional services. We are not equipped to do what most of these people here are doing, but we are prepared to support them with an experience that is no fee for service, that does not allow a contradiction for youth to come and join us, or is there a concern for the agency's finances to make use of WYCP. And I would encourage you folks to take a look at us. We're very small, we do small numbers, but we have a high success rate. And I'd like to share one quick testimony, please. This year, we were absolutely blessed. In 2005, we ran our first 10-day challenge program, and our very first graduate was a 12-year-old boy. He actually turned 12 while he was doing his 4-day solo. He was a hard case, didn't complete one of his projects, which was a walking staff. I bucked him back to his campsite. He missed all the graduation fun and games, and I wouldn't let him come out until he built a proper walking staff. Well, about 6 months ago, his wife contacted us. It is now 17 years, or 16 years, and she showed us a picture of him walking to his work with the staff he built in WYCP's camp. He now manages a natural gas plant. He's a father of 4. And we were blessed to get his testimony and put it on our website. And for us, I get goosebumps just talking about it. To see one of our young people go full circle is huge. But we do have great success with young people managing a year without a relapse. And we would encourage other agencies to look at WYCP. Again, we're no fee for service, and it's because of the funding we get from people like you. The dollars that you give us get allocated to each individual youth to get them through the program and get them home again safe. And that can be a range of things from transportation to whatever is necessary to get them into the 10 days with us. So I say kudos to you folks, because every dollar you put to us, 100% of it goes into supporting these youth through the program. We are all volunteers at this stage of the game, and that money is their money. So thank you. Thank you so very much for your support. Thank you. It's good stuff.
Oh man, that actually got me so choked up. Thank you, Lee. That stuff. I just love this kind of a moment, even though we're virtual, that you can connect these stories to real people, and that we can create this community even within, all these local grassroots charities. So this is a warm, fuzzy feeling moment, and I'm loving it. So thank you, Lee, especially for sharing that story. Yeah. So our next grant recipient has received more than $60,000 since its first grant in 2011. I'm excited to announce that we're funding the Today Family Violence Help Center once again this year. The Today Center raises awareness and builds capacity by providing immediate, inclusive, integrated services for those impacted by family violence. This year, RCF is giving $8,000 to fully fund the Today Center Lives on the Line program. The funding will provide victims of family violence with an emergency cell phone and $20 of airtime minutes, allowing them to connect to their support system and carry out their personalized safety plan in the event of an emergency. The cell phone is unknown to the victim's abuser, ensuring that they are able to contact police if they are feeling threatened or at risk of assault. It is also a lifeline to community service providers, such as financial, housing, and counseling resources. Furthermore, when isolation as a form of power and control is such a prevalent tool among those who abuse, the cell phone allows victims of family violence the means to reach out to friends, family members, and other informal supports. We're happy to support this incredible program. Thanks to congratulations to the Today Family Violence Help Center, and thank you for all you do.
Our next, Natasha again, our next grant recipient is the ABC Head Start Society. ABC Head Start opens doors for children and their families by building strong foundations in the early years. Their team of teaching staff, social workers, speech language pathologists, occupational therapists, and behavior specialists provide family services and inclusive early learning for families with young children. They are able to access government funding to cover the costs of programming for children with diagnosed conditions and learning delays. However, children with undiagnosed disruptive behaviors are not eligible for government funding, despite their high need for specialized support. Often, these children have been excluded from fee-for-service daycare or preschool programs due to their challenging behavior. The foundation is giving $5,000 to ABC Head Start to make their programs accessible for children with undiagnosed disruptive behaviors who do not qualify for government funding. With this grant, children will receive an individual learning plan and the opportunity to work with an interdisciplinary team to harness their strengths, fill gaps in their learning, and reach their unlimited potential. So congratulations to ABC Head Start. Our next grant recipient is a new grant recipient. We're excited to be providing $6,500 to the Linking Generation Society of Alberta. And today we have Executive Director Debbie Sinclair to tell us more about this organization and how the funding will be used. Take it away, Debbie.
Thank you, Natasha. First, thank all of you for recognizing our wonderful charity that we have out here in Sherwood Park. Linking Generations has been serving our community of Sherwood Park and the County of Strathcona since 2004. Our purpose is to bring two generations together so that seniors and youth can share life experiences. We encourage volunteering and social responsibility in youth. We are proud that we have proven how versatile we could be as we continue to deliver intergenerational programming during the worldwide pandemic and all of the lockdowns. Our programs are offered to seniors and students alike, and they begin in September of each year. We match 2 students to 1 senior, and these teams will visit for 10 months. You can only imagine the huge commitment this is when we ask our students to visit on a weekly or bi-weekly visit with the same senior for a period of a year. Our visits are structured and they're mentored. We instill it so that our seniors can share their stories and their life experiences. The seniors are excited and they're keen and they have a willingness to talk about their experiences. Our students are quick to soak up the knowledge and the wisdom that is shared. How many times have you ever wondered if you would have just asked your own parents to hear the stories? We're so fortunate that our youth are hearing these stories that many of us have never even heard. We have finally been able to return to face-to-face visiting in all of our senior facilities. Unfortunately, though, we do see a decline in our seniors' health due to 2 years of lockdowns and severe visiting restrictions. It is our goal and our purpose and our mandate to ensure that we can bring our seniors back and that twinkle in their eye returns. For students, intergenerational programming is their first step in learning how to volunteer. For seniors, we must admit, though, this is their last opportunity to possibly share their wisdom, their knowledge, and their hearts with a younger generation. We also are proud to say we introduced a couple years ago a volunteer grandparent program. This was created due to a demand for more programs where younger seniors could volunteer within their communities. Currently, we have 55 seniors who visit within 8 elementary schools, sharing their stories with the younger generations. In fact, only yesterday, we had one grandparent take her grandchildren in as they speak Japanese. And the Japanese students taught the Ukrainian students how to speak the different languages. We are very proud of the programs we offer. Last year, we were recognized in the County of Strathcona with the Award of Excellence for Outstanding Service to Seniors. And we also received the 2021 Minister Senior Service Award for our outstanding contribution to our community seniors. So thank you very much, all of you. This is a very special honor for us being a brand new recipient. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Debbie. You work with an incredible organization, and we're so glad that you're able to serve that need in your community. So moving on, our next grant recipient is the Cornerstone Counseling Society of Edmonton. Cornerstone Counseling received its first RCF grant in 2013 and has since received more than $40,000 from the foundation. This year, we are granting them $10,000 to support their affordable counseling program. The regular rate for counseling, as recommended by the Psychologists Association of Alberta, is about $200 per session. So through Cornerstone's affordable counseling program, those who earn less than $100,000 a year and those without benefits, so most people can access professional psychotherapy at a rate as low as $20 a session. Through this subsidized counseling and a sliding scale service model, Cornerstone aims to omit the cost barrier so that Albertans don't have to choose between their mental health and their finances in receiving the help that they deserve. So a huge congratulations to Cornerstone Counseling, and thank you so much for providing this much needed service during the difficult times that so many of us have experienced over the last 2 years.
Next, Anisha again. I'm excited to announce another first-time grant recipient, the Adara Recovery Center. Adara is an addiction recovery center that provides long-term research-based programming to women in need in a residential setting. They're one of the few addiction centers in Canada that accept both women and their children. In doing so, women don't have to choose between getting help and taking care of their children. The foundation is proudly granting $10,000 program, which provides increased contribution during their transition back to independent living upon leaving the residential center. The program aims to enhance the client's ability to adapt to stress and equip her for a future of sobriety through providing one-on-one check-ins, community accountability groups focusing on relapse prevention, career coaching, community involvement, family reconciliation, and ongoing development of life skills. Congratulations to the Adara Recovery Center. Our next and final Big Give grant recipient is the Leftovers Foundation. Last year was the foundation's first time funding the Leftovers Foundation. Once again, the foundation is granting $10,000 to the Leftovers Foundation to support their food rescue program. We are excited to have Emily Vilzak from Leftovers here with us today to tell us more. Welcome, Emily, and I apologize if I missed.
No problem. Thank you so much. I would like to start by extending our gratitude for the Realtors Community Foundation for funding our rescue food program in Edmonton. Statistics show that 58% of food produced in Canada is lost or wasted. Yet 1 in 7 Canadians are experiencing food insecurity during the pandemic. That's a lot more than we think it is. This is where Leftovers comes in. We work to reduce food waste and increase food access. Leftovers is the largest tech-enabled food rescue and redirection charity in Western Canada. What does that mean? Well, that means that we use our in-house app to connect food businesses like restaurants and bakeries to service agencies like the Dickensfield Amity House and Urban Manor Housing Society. Volunteers can use our app to sign up for routes to rescue excess food from these businesses and deliver it to service agencies. I've worked with Leftovers since 2020, and I've seen the direct impact of our programs throughout the pandemic. In Edmonton in 2021, we rescued over 255,000 pounds of good food, which diverted over 355,000 pounds of harmful greenhouse gases from our atmosphere. Most notably in the community, this in turn saved service agencies over $664,000. This means that service agencies can redirect financial resources into their programming instead of their food purchases. With the funding from the Realtors Community Foundation, we will be able to meet the increased demand of our rescue food program in Edmonton due to the heightened food insecurity during the pandemic. This funding will support our Edmonton operations and empower our team to support our volunteers. What this means is that we can continue to have a positive impact on our neighbors, our environment, and our community. On behalf of the entire Leftovers team, we want to congratulate the other recipients of the funding. The work you do in our community is so essential. And lastly, I'd like to extend our gratitude to the Realtors Community Foundation for supporting our work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emily, and congratulations to this year's Big Give charities. Now, I'm going to go off script just for a few seconds, and I just want to say that there is no puns. We did not leave the Leftover Foundation for the very last presentation. Okay, that's my joke for today. But thank you, everyone. And we are happy to be able to include these organizations and their impact work for the community. And without further ado, I would like to announce our 2 new flagship charities. At this time, I would like to give it away to Nicole McAway to introduce our first flagship charity for this year.
I think actually Shirley goes first, am I right?
We're stalling because Shirley's not quite here yet. So we're
Oh, okay.
going a little off script here, Nicole.
Okay, no worries. Okay, thanks. So our first, I guess, do you want me to announce hers or do you want me to do mine?
Just do yours
Just
first.
do yours. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So our first flagship charity is one that the foundation has supported for many years, beginning in 2004. I am so excited to announce that the foundation has selected Our House Addiction Recovery Center as our first flagship charity for this year. Our House is an addiction recovery center whose purpose is to provide an environment where individuals with an addiction can embark on a recovery process directed towards a meaningful, productive lifestyle. They fulfill this mission through a variety of programs, including a one-year residential addiction recovery program for 60 men ages 18 and up at a shared accommodations facility. Our house provides services unlike any other in Alberta, and they are one of the very few year-long residential treatment programs in Canada. Their approach is based on the belief that addiction recovery requires a safe, healthy, and non-judgmental environment and assistance from trained professionals to acquire the tools that are needed for long-term recovery. In addition to stopping substance abuse, the goal of treatment is to enable individuals to become productive members of society, including family, workplace, and community. Some of the specific outcomes include decreased criminal activity, as well as improvements in their occupational, social, and psychological functioning. Multi-year flagship funding from the foundation will assist Our House in continuing to serve more than 300 individuals each year by allowing them to make necessary upgrades to their facility, replacing plastic cafeteria chairs with proper furniture, and making upgrades to client rooms and recreation facilities will bring the current building up to par with a safe, healthy, and comfortable treatment center, aiding residents on their journey to recovery. Congratulations to Our House Edmonton, and thank you for all you do.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Nicole. And yes, congratulations to Our House Edmonton. We do have Greg Nielsen here. Oh, no, sorry, wrong name there. Sorry. Oh yeah, Kim Clark, sorry. Kim Clark is here today, I believe. Kim. Yes, so congratulations to Our House. We're really excited for the next 3 years and to be supporting you guys and continuing on deepening that relationship with you. So as Shirley is not here yet, I am going to do our second flagship charity announcement here. So this second flagship charity is one that has been near and dear to the foundation's heart for many years. Actually, we have been supporting the foundation since 2003, and last year was the only year we haven't supported them in that time, and that was only because they had to place their programming on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So it is with great pleasure that I announce our second flagship charity is Camp Health, Hope, and Happiness. So Camp Hihoha advances independence and integration for children and adults living with physical and mental disabilities by providing barrier-free access to fun and recreational summer programming. They offer safe, innovative, and rewarding recreational opportunities that are designed to meet the special needs and interests of participants. So in doing so, Camp Hihoha encourages personal growth, integration, and a sense of community among campers. They provide opportunities for children and adults with disabilities to develop confidence and a sense of accomplishment, take part in a meaningful learning experience, and to explore their potential by allowing them the dignity of risk. So this multi-year flagship funding totaling $60,000 from the foundation will ensure the best, most inclusive experience for over 720 children and adults with disabilities each year. So we are so thankful for the incredible work that Camp Hihoha does for community and are so happy to offer this support. So congratulations, Camp Hihoha. And we do have Greg Nielsen here today on behalf of Camp Hihoha. So thank you for being here today, Greg.
Thank you so much, Kristen. And I just can't say how grateful I am to be here today and be part of this amazing, amazing event. Congratulations to the rest of the charities receiving funding today. I'm so grateful for the work that you do in our communities. I don't know what this province would look like without all of these people in this room. So thank you for the work you do and the way you change lives. We are so excited to be selected as a flagship charity and have this secured funding for the next 3 years. I want to thank the funding committee. I want to thank all of the members in the meeting today and those that couldn't be with us today. As Kristen mentioned, the Realtors Community Foundation has been a huge supporter of our programs for many, many years. And we're very grateful. Kristen stole a lot of my thunder as far as what difference we're making in the community. But as she mentioned, we offer programs to over 720 Albertans with special needs. And those individuals are of all ages, from little kids, 5 and 6 years old, to seniors that might be 100 or 102 years old. And I think one of the biggest gifts we can give those people is the opportunity to feel part of a special community. When they come to camp, they have no differences. They are all looked at as if they belong. They have many friends here at Camp Yoha, and they're given the opportunity to try anything they want, not any time they want, but anything they want. And one story I want to share, and there's so many stories. I mean, from the senior that loved to fish as a young man and hadn't fished for 3 or 4 decades and had the opportunity to go out and catch a fish on our barge, or that young adult with a mental disability that loves hockey that gets to do a skit where he's Connor McDavid and score the winning goal in the Stanley Cup Finals. And I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, but yeah, let's cross our fingers. But one story I want to share, and it's a little bit dated now, but it's something that changed my life forever. I've been here at camp for 26 years now. And I remember the day that, I'm going to use his first name because I have permission to share this story, that Danny showed up at our camp, and he was 13 years old at the time. And when he was young, he had meningitis and ended up in the hospital. And his parents had a very difficult decision when the doctor came to him, and they were faced with the decision to either have his 4 limbs amputated or risk losing Danny. So the choice was made to obviously amputate his limbs. And when Danny came to camp, he was in his wheelchair and no arms and no legs, which was something to see, but a big smile on his face. He came with a service dog that was there to help him with his balance in his chair. And within a couple of days, he had seen our 40-foot climbing wall and ropes course. And he approached one of the counselors and he said, "You know what? I really want to try that climbing wall." So the counselor showed up in my office and they said, "Greg, we've got Danny here." And we all obviously got to know Danny after a couple of days. And he expressed a real interest in getting to the top of this wall. And I scratched my head and I'm like, how am I going to get Danny up to the top of the wall safely? But with the amazing team and support, we talked to Danny, we got him in a safe harness, and he got him out of his chair, and we got him to the wall. And with a lot of assistance, we got him to the top of the wall, and he rang the bell with a little stub that he had on his shoulder. And we brought him back down and set him in his wheelchair, and his service dog was just all over him, just going wild. And for the rest of those 4 days that Danny was at camp, he was just a changed young man. He had the confidence again that he could do anything he put his mind to. He was looked upon by his peers as successful. He was happy. A dream had been granted. He had been gifted a dream, I guess, for him. And people always ask, it's amazing what we do for campers here at Camp Yoha, but the truth is it's what our campers do for us. The gift that they give us each and every day that they're here, we're just so grateful that we're able to provide the community these programs. And the second half is giving parents with special needs or caregivers a break from that 24/7 responsibility. I had a young mother stop by my office a few years ago, and just in passing, I asked, "What are you going to do for the 6 days that your son is at camp?" And sheepishly, she giggled and she says, "Well, to be quite honest with you, I've taken the week off from work. I'm going to stop at the liquor store and get a bottle of my favorite wine. And I'm going to go home and watch some of my favorite movies that I haven't seen forever. And I'm going to know that my son's going to be safe at Camp Yoha. And when I come back in 6 days, I'll be refreshed. he will be excited and we can go on with our lives for the next 359 until he can come back to camp. So thank you so much to the RCF Foundation and all the great work that the realtors do in the city of Edmonton and surrounding to make this possible. But thank you so much. I cannot express how grateful we are for the support. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Greg. I know Kim Clark from Our House, we kind of skipped over you. I'm not sure if you had anything that you wanted to share with us as well, but we're happy you could join us today and are just so excited to be able to support Our House. So yeah.
Thanks very much. I am very newly to this position, so I joined Our House a little 5 weeks ago or so. So a huge thanks to Kristen and everybody from Realtors for us getting the news earlier today that we were chosen as one of the flagships. It's wonderful in the short time that I've been here. There's been no shortage of impactful moments as I've come to learn the incredible work that's done at Our House by both the staff, the volunteers, and the men who make the commitment to be here. So huge thank you for the support and the recognition.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. Yes, we're just so excited to be able to fund both of these amazing charities over the 3-year period. Yeah, and we're so excited to see the impact of those funds. So it looks like we are going to be on time and keeping us under 1 hour. So I have one final little video on behalf of the Realtors Association of Edmonton. They just have a quick video message that they wanted to share. So I am going to share that now.
Hey everybody, Alan and myself wanted to say congratulations on the big give. We know all the hard work that the volunteers do to put this on, and the difference it makes with the big give within the community. So congratulations to the recipients and to the volunteers that do everything that you guys do.
And to the Board of Governors of the Realtor Community Foundation, we know it's a hard decision to select your flagship charities, but we know that the work that you do is underappreciated, but we want to thank you from the Ray.
Awesome. Thank you guys for your patience there. Yeah, so now I'll pass it along to Erin for some final remarks before we wrap up today's event.
Okay, everyone. So final remarks. So before we wrap up, I would like to take another opportunity to thank this year's Funding Allocation Committee one more time for all their amazing work and determination over this year's funding committee. So thank you to the funding committee chair, Nicole McAway, for all her hard work, David Santes, Natasha Aiello, Sharon Gregorish, Michael LaFleur, Alan Morrison, Alyssa Casco, and Gail Dawkin for all your amazing hard work over the last few months of looking through all of the applications, scoring all of them, and organizing them all so that we can have another amazing year of giving. Thank you to all who attended today, and stay tuned to our social media for more information about our charities in the upcoming months. For those of you who would wish to stick around and have a little networking session, I welcome all of you guys to hang around for about 15 minutes afterwards. A lot of our Board of Governors are on here, as well as our flagship charities and our other charities. So let's have a little 10 to 15 minutes of networking, getting to know each other. But that is it for today, you guys. Thank you very much. And this was RCF's Big Give.
Thank you, everyone.